What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Hit the LaBelle. This should be one of those videos you want a notification on because we're going to teach you how to combat these bus drivers. I'm tired of people sitting deep. Drop back action on display every single weekend. We've had multiple patches. This is the skill move you need to spend your time on. Master this. And I was a late adopter myself with the bridge dribble, and I know there are multiple tutorials and advices on the internet. This is going to be a more detailed video. This will give you everything you're looking for, whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced player. We take pride in that. Want to make sure that we're showcasing and analyzing multiple scenarios and what you're looking for and the setup. It's all about playing this deceptive game of knowing when and why to use a certain skill to unlock space. Why is it actually effective? It's not random. And if you want to improve your gameplay, you have to make sure that you're acting instinctively and you're reacting to what's happening on the virtual pitch. Are we on the same page? Drop a like on the video. Let the YouTube algorithm know people should be watching this, and comment below. Do you have questions regarding the bridge dribble or any skill moves? And what future tutorials do you need to see ASAP? We have a lot on the agenda heading into December. Special time period. I know a lot of you are just going to pick up FIFA or really invest during that period. The time that's needed. The necessary involvement. You're ready for footmas. I read the comments. That's the point that I'm making. I read the damn comments. Bridge dribble, bridge skill, controls, relatively simple. This is a universal skill. In theory, I have not tried it, but a goalkeeper should even be able to execute a bridge dribble. It's a 1-star skill move. You double tap R1 if you're on the PlayStation, double tap RB if you're on the Xbox. This does not involve any right analog mastery. So for you lovely gents at home that have not figured out perspective, or you struggle with using skill move combinations and chaining those together, perfect! You can learn this today. Brand spanking new to FIFA 21. To get started, we have the classic, the push kick, the kick push, Lupe fiasco. And the reason this skill move is so effective against the AI in many circumstances is because, one, it's going to give you that jolt of pace where you can shoot around your opposition, whether they're controlling them or not so much. And number two, if your opposition is not manually controlling their defenders, because this skill in particular pushes the ball forward, it sometimes bounces off the defender and you're going to react quicker. So you're generating your own luck, which is much better than just being lucky. Here we go with the breakdown. Alon to Neymar. Neymar into space. And this is the perfect opening example for this skill move in particular, because if you're learning the bridge dribble and you're figuring out where and when you need to execute it, there's a lot of space, a lot of action. You're just basically using this almost as another variation of a knock-on, or a more creative or a more effective knock-on. And I can make a tutorial covering some more of the intangibles and the basics to apply into your gameplay, because FIFA, at the end of the day, at the heart, at the roots of the title, is simple. But when you get into being an elite player, or really improving or investing much more time than the casual or even the intermediate player, it gets a lot more complex. And sometimes you need all these small complexities and intricacies in order to create larger skill gaps. But we're going to attack the space and then we're going to lay it off. Bread and butter. Neymar attacks. We even get a second running fake shot. There's your layoff. Firmino is not going to miss that type of finish. But the concept or the idea behind this skill, hey, we've got additional space to work with. Burn into that space. Attack it. Get you a little boost of it. Be slightly more dynamic, slightly more creative. We continue. And you might even say to yourself, Mike, the first example, I didn't notice this big jump or this crazy pace increase. Perfect. That's why we give you more than one. I like to go with the double dip. Big fan of ice cream. Sanchez. Here we go. Rashford. Now, Rashford is in a pretty good position here. We're going to have a touch before we unleash. And this is still the classic version of this skill. But wait till you see the actual push of pace, the jump. And obviously, the faster your player, the better the dribbling. Even the more skill moves that someone has, even though this is such a baseline skill, I feel that they get a little bit of an improved execution. There it is. Rashford realigns. Wait for it. Ah! Get out of my house! And then we lay it off. Get the hell out of my house! That is textbook gone. Next up, beating the AI defense. So what we've covered thus far is your opening introductions of the bridge and when to use it. You see space, you're on the edge of the box, and the majority of the examples that I showcase in my comfort zone for the bridge skill or the bridge dribble at this point, and it will get more complicated as we get more and more familiar, is right around the edge of the box or even one step within the box. And I like to be at the top, not necessarily down the wings. It's not that it's not effective in those areas. I just think I have so many different wing methods for working working the ball inside that I find a little more comfort with some of the body feints, the pullbacks, the drag backs, the running fake shots. I've got a grade A package for end-line sweat. In fact, we could make a video discussing and detailing all these different combinations for how to win 1v1 matchups or even 1v2 matchups when you're attacking down that end line and just using the end line to your advantage. But I know many people love the bridge from those angled positions. I just don't use it in those types of scenarios quite as often. That's my disclaimer. Sanchez, he's working. We're looking for space. I love this example because you're going to see something that's very common in FIFA 21. Mbappe resurfaces. We have Rashford. How many times have you seen this situation? Work with me. Focus. Defender 1, Defender 2, Defender 3, Defender 4. None of them are being controlled by your opponent. He's got one of the midfielders. This happens all day, every day, and I hate it. And it's one of the few skill moves that not only works, but it excels in this type of position. So this might look similar to what you saw in the previous examples, but it's quite different. We are attacking a ghost. That guy's not being controlled. We're going to attack him, and we are going to absolutely burn him. Smoke him. I'm eating this guy for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. I'm hungry. And you are the prey, my friend. Enjoy. Now he switches to the player, but it doesn't matter. It's too late. You're not organized. Your hands don't feel fresh. You're out of the picture. You can't simply start drawing or doodling or make a late player switch versus the bridge. We're not done. Welcome to the stop and go. We're open 24 hours, 7-Eleven. This is where we're going to stop the ball. You're going to see the fake shot used, which I've made a tutorial covering the most detailed fake shot video on the internet. We cover all 9 different types of fake shots and where to use them, how to use them, what you're looking for, the scenarios. We're giving you the full-on breakdown, in-depth, advanced. Through ball, Mbappe. Here comes that fake shot. So after you've done a fake shot, you're going from stationary now into the speed boost, the speed burst, the speed glitch, the assessment of all assessments, the bridge dribble, and you can put your opponent to sleep and then you wake them up, but it's too late. It's too late. There it is, Mbappe. Little ball roll, resurface. I do not like colored goalposts. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm motivated to score against you if you run these up. I can't be the only one. This is the stop and go. It's another way of using the skill, and you got to have some mix and match. Once your opposition has seen one bridge dribble, he can start to get used to maybe seeing future bridge dribbles. So now it's all about your build up to the bridge, your build up to the skill. Remember, FIFA is still a game of chess or a game of checkers. You're playing your opposition. It's all up here. I'm not done. We have hip separation. This is a little more angled, and this is something that I'm working on adding more so into my gameplay instinctively, because that's the big key. You can't sit there and think about doing these skills. I mean, you can gradually introduce them, but once you get into foot champs, division rivals, upper level play, or upper tier matchups, you've got to be able to recognize and react. It's not going to be, oh, well, how do I do that skill? What are the controls? Ooh, this situation looks similar as to before. So hip separation, slightly angled. We get the ball inside. Neymar turning. I'm trying to unlock some space. You see Varane, most overpowered defender in FIFA 21. We're going to use the bridge dribble to create a gap. And after I've created this gap, that does not mean that I'm gone like Donkey Kong and that I'm going to have a free 1v1. But I at least buy myself another half second to think, do I need to make another pass? Do I need a secondary skill move? Do I want to recycle and resurface? How am I going to open up this angle? And it is slightly on a diagonal. That's what I want to stress. We're no longer straight lining. Okay, we're not straight lining. We are on a diagonal to do the skill. Exact same execution. Still got a lot of bodies to work with here, but we do have one thing to our advantage. There is some space to work with. There it is. And then we have that secondary fake shot. As I was saying, it gives you another lane to at least attack your opposition. Last but not least, I call this the 2-4-1. Very few skill moves have this. It might be the only skill in FIFA 21 that can take on multiple players at once with a very high completion rate. It still matters about being able to execute and understanding when and why this is going to be effective. You can't randomly just use the bridge dribble. Just throwing it out there. A lot of you are going to spam it and say, oh, I'm so good at this skill. No, we're dealing with effectiveness. I don't get enough offensive attacks to be random. I can't support that, and neither can you. We've got Neymar. Here we go. This is your bread and butter position for this type of 2-4-1. You see one defender on my hip, the other defender has started to help, almost as if you're playing basketball. If you watch basketball, there's help defense. So you've got help defense happening. You've got structure here. The way this skill works, because it knocks the ball into space, you can win versus both these guys. In fact, sometimes they bump into each other, or your opposition doesn't know who to switch to or struggles with player switching and locking on. All of that is good for you. Neymar, gone. Out of position. We turn him, ball roll. A little bit of deflection on the goal. You get an idea why this is effective, because it puts your opponent on his back heels. You are the attacker. We want to be T-Rex throughout Jurassic Park. I'm hungry. I'm hunting. We are carnivores in this FIFA world, not herbivores. You see us come in Jurassic Park, you go the other direction. You don't want this matchup. We're going to press you. Enjoy the bridge dribble, my friends. Use the comments. I know you're going to have questions. Perfect. Even if you have other examples, I always want to look at your clips or your breakdowns. You want to get better at FIFA, join the FIFA school. But I have a lot more content coming out ASAP. I appreciate all of you. Health is wealth and prosperity. And I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.